Blue Jackets close out their season series with the Minnesota Wild here tonight. They're coming off a hard-fought overtime loss just 2 nights ago in Montreal. Jody, that game was a lot of fun. The Blue Jackets tried to set the tone early but couldn't find the back of the net. They kept on hitting the post, and then it becomes a battle of defense and goaltending the rest of the way.
Yeah, it was so fun to watch. I mean, you talk about a 0-0 game at the end of regulation that has to go to overtime, and you say, boy, that must have been boring. But that was a fun game. Great skill. The goaltending was awesome. And you're right, Bob. The opportunities by the Blue Jackets early and often off the post just didn't work out for them.
Losing 1-0 in overtime, but that might have been the best game I've ever seen Sergei Bobrovsky play.
Well, and you think about it, the Blue Jackets have won games handily. They've won games different way. It's important just to be in that game. I don't think they've come away learning nothing from that. It's a good situation for them to be in. And how about Sergei? He is on fire and acrobatic.
Well, when you talk about learning, now here we go. Day after the trade deadline. The Blue Jackets made a couple of moves yesterday, and now the focus is squarely on getting ready for the playoffs. And one of the players they brought in, defenseman Kyle Quincy, knows that coming in as a veteran defenseman, his job is to help them get ready.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We got a big stretch of games coming up here, but I think the experience going into the playoffs is just as important for getting them ready for the playoffs. So at the end of the day, it's still hockey, right? So it'll be exciting.
Love those veteran comments. Going into the playoffs, and the playoffs, huge. And here's a guy who's played more playoff games than all the Blue Jackets defensemen combined. So good to have him in the lineup.
The other player that they got yesterday was forward Lori Korpikoski. He comes over from the Dallas Stars. He goes right into the lineup tonight. And even though you might think that is a tough adjustment to make, going from one team to another in just 2 days, he says it's not that difficult.
Well, I think we'll kind of find out. Obviously, a lot of the same stuff. A lot of the teams kind of play the same way, sort of. But in Dallas, we like to play high tempo. Game, so I think that'll be something that is kind of similar to here. So I think that will fit my game, pretty well.
It's always nerve-wracking when you get to a new team. There's new systems, there's new people you have to learn about, new line mates. But for him, you can tell he's been in this situation before. He'll pick it up pretty quick here for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Did you pick it up quickly when you went to a new team? I think your role was kind of the same.
Yeah, but it's interesting. You want to get out there and get involved. You want to help the team. You're coming with a team that's playing well. You don't want to hold them back at all. So this guy's got great speed. He's a smart player. A nice addition for the Blue Jackets.
Well, the team they're going to play tonight is very similar to the Blue Jackets. The Minnesota Wild is on top of the Central Division. They're trying to stay there. The last time these two teams got together, Jody, it was like a playoff game, because the Wild had a streak of 12 games in a row. The Blue Jackets had 14 in a row. The Blue Jackets streak continued. The Wilds ended that night. But this team has gone really above and beyond in the Western Conference this year.
Number one in the Western Conference, and for good reason. They're really consistent. They're a team that really stays on track. They know what they are. Their goaltending has been solid in Devan Dubnyk, and it's something that's really brought their confidence to another level. Very similar with the speed of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they've made a couple big trades. They're all in. They're looking for the Stanley Cup or bust. I like the way this sets up for tonight.
Well, you mentioned Dubnyk. He is certainly a key player on this team, but let's look at their top line, too, and their captain, Mikko Koivu, leading the way. Jason Zucker is having a great year, and Mikael Granlund also finding the back of the net.
Yeah, nice unit here. Two guys on this line are having career seasons. Zucker brings speed. He's got 20 goals on the season. He's a guy that brings that every single night for these Wild. Got to watch him getting behind the defenseman. Koivu's the veteran. He's a guy that does all the details down low. Great on the puck, great away from the puck, and he's a big body, veteran player out there. And then Granlund, this kid, another kid having career year. He's all over the place, leads the team in goals. This line is effective. The Blue Jackets have got to be aware every time they're on the ice.
I get the feeling that both of these teams, they're looking across the ice at the other tonight and feeling as if it is a playoff game again, because both of them want to walk out of here proving they're better than the other one.
Well, it's interesting. The trade deadline yesterday, this is the last segment of the season. It's the final push. Both teams have new players required in the last few days. Yeah, what are they worth? What do they got? They won't see each other again unless it's the finals.
All right, so that'll do it for tonight's Rink Report. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott. Enjoy the game.